Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode we will have the first game in the group stage, or in the league phase I should say, of the Europa League. A competition that if we win we will complete the European side of the Glory Hunter Challenge. Since we last met as well, we've played a few games in the league, and one of the teams that we will focus on in this episode we've already played here in England. But yes, that is our league phase draw. We've got Atlanta on the opening day away in Italy, probably as tough as we could ask. From then on out until we play Rennes, very winnable games. We'll say Besiktas and Sparta Prague aren't the easiest games to probably have as well, but we're in a not bad position to really go out there and get inside the top 8 and get through with some seeding. With that being said, if you look at the profile here, have a look at this league phase right here. There's only a handful of teams that you're going to say that are going to be favourites to win this competition. Ourselves, Arsenal, who we've already played in the league, we've lost to, so hopefully we don't get them. But in saying that, I'll tick on that game in a second. Atlanta, who we're playing on the opening day, probably one of the other favourites to win it. Dortmund and Napoli are probably your big five. Hertha Berlin, sixth. You know, they're the big six, I would say, that are odds-on favourite to win it. And then you think our boys, Rail Hippers, that we used to manage, could probably go on a little bit of a tear and maybe see what they could do. How are they going anyway? They've still got Arsene Zakarian in. That's amazing. And they've still got Andrea. Oh, he's looking so good too. He's from our academy. I'm not going to pick him up. But yeah, and Ripoli's still the hot prospect. There you go. How's the squad looking? Here we go. Going to do a little dive into Hippers. Hopefully we get him so we can go a proper dive. Still got Ibrahim Diaz as well. Gabby is playing defensive midfield. Armagol starting. Nice. Good on him. That's not too bad. Donny van der Beek still there. I'm happy. How have you guys been going? Have we been good general wise? So 5th, 10th, 5th. Okay, so they've been in and around the mark. I can kind of deal with that. Abda Venetia's still captain. That's pretty odd as well. Anyway, back to the Europa League side of things. I think we're going to be odds-on favourite to win the competition. If you have a look at previous winners as we're flicking through here, since 2023-24, Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle when they appeared in the competition last won it, and then Norwich won it. So 4 of the last 5 winners have been from the Premier League, and then Hoffenheim won it last year. And let's go see who Hoffenheim played last year. Hoffenheim beat Arsenal in the final. So Arsenal looking to go back-to-back finals. 4 of the last 5 wins have been from England. A lot of places point to us being odds-on favourites to win this competition. Now, I will say that we did just play Arsenal in the league. We've already lost the game this season, which is unfortunate. And it was Arsenal who lost 1-0. I will say that if this was the Europa League semi-final, quarter-final, and this was the first leg for sure, I would think we're in the driving seat, because I think at home we're going to beat most sides and beat them comfortably. So hopefully the way this is going to go is Atlanta in today's episode. Next episode is Rennes, and then we come back with a knockout draw of some stage in that 3rd episode of the year, because realistically that's all we're playing for. Don't get me wrong, I want to win the league, I want to win the cup, I want to try and win as many competitions as possible. And you just never know, this Newcastle squad isn't too bad as well. See you guys for Atlanta in a second. Welcome back, YouTube. It is now time to play Atlanta in our first league phase game away against Mauricio Pochettino. That is correct. I did not realise Atlanta were in charge with Mauricio. If you don't know why that's a little bit funny or whatever, he's the man we beat in the final of the Champions League when we were AC Milan manager. The guy who last won the UEFA Europa League with Newcastle as well in the save. So yeah, there we go. Pochettino is the guy that we've got. In terms of results since we last met, so in a bit more in depth, the only games that I've conceded in was, of course, the 1-0 loss we lost to Arsenal, and we did concede of our second string side there with Brighton. Important to note though, and I know I've mentioned him a few times, Roman in his first game for us scored a brace for the French national side. And I guess the main reason that I'm trying to use guys this is these are a couple of the players that I might plan on getting as well. So you got Roman, who started and played and scored, and if he hits his potential could be really, really good for us, for sure. And you got Gatton Munich, who's just moved on big money to Leipzig for 25.5 million, has a release fee of 30.5 million. I called him up, and this guy was insane on the ball. When I mean insane, as in he picked the ball up and he would just play passes with that 18 passing and that 16 technique. That was ridiculous. He's still tutored as a wonder kid. I called him up for his first cap, and he was incredible as well. So I thought it was worth a mention. With that being said, though, I have fully rotated for this game. In the last game. The only thing that I will say that we have to do is Sivit's probably not going to start with that injury. I just don't think he's ready. And we are going to bring in Where Is You Great in like for like. Outside of that, though, it's Katka, Salamakers, Magala, Lacroix. I have gone Sergio because his form with Isaac's really good. In saying that, though, Quinton Merlin has now been capped by myself as well. He got his first cap for France in the game that we played as well. You great Tisney Bellingham. Tisney now regarded as our best footballer at the football club of Lewis Brown. Lewis Brown on the right, Isaac and Osimhen did stay because we did not get a bid on deadline day, which means the only signing I've made all year was that of Galbert and sent the rest out on loan. So yeah, very, very nice and interesting. I'm hoping that Galbert gets a bit of growth this year and then we can obviously, hopefully, get him a bit more better for the French first team because he's one of those ones that you just take a punt on and hopefully it turns out. Let's have a look at Atlanta lining up anyone that we know. I thought that was Milinkovic-Savic. It's not. I wonder if they're related. Are you related to the other Milinkovic-Savic? He is. Oh, there you go. That's quite cute. They're both playing in Italy together. They've got Lingale in there as well, probably getting a little bit older now, 33. They've got Matteo Pessina, people will know. Odanenko, people also will know. Pasalic is still here and still very good. A bit of an older team. Cole Palmer, of all people, though, is at Atlanta. He's 28. That makes this game save a little bit, whatever, as well. Esposito there, Patrick Berg. There's going to be a time where we start getting to a crossover where all the really, really good players are all retiring and becoming managers or retiring. And we're going to get to a stage where all these wonder kids like Tisney or whatever are the new cream of the crop. And we've got to then discover the next bunch of wonder kids that are going to be the best the best of the best. It's going to be very interesting. It makes building teams a little bit different in this save. And look, I think what I'm trying to say is I'm kind of ready to get to that point. I'm kind of ready to go, okay, let's win the Europa League. And then I don't care if it's Spain or Germany, right? We need to go and get a team that is of a really good note, or build a team for 6 years. Because I've got Spain, I've got Germany, and I've got France. Ideally, I think we need to get Spain out of the way as quickly as possible, as Osimhen scores, but he looked half offside. Hopefully onside, but I think he was off. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping my next one is a bit of a rebuild. Yet again, if the Real Madrid job comes about, then yeah, you just go. I wouldn't mind going back to Hippos. If Raul Hippos' job became available at any point this season, I'd say I'm going back there at the end of the year because we've already got Arsene Zachariah, got one of the other kids that came from my academy there as well. That would be actually pretty cool if we ended up back at Hippos. But yeah, I'm already starting to think, even though we've got a long way to go, about next year. Secondly, you might notice the mo's gone. Yeah, I decided to shave it this morning after filming the first part of this episode. I'm pretty sure I filmed the first part without it. And then I've been off doing other things and watching movies and stuff like that before filming this one. Lastly, I am planning to be on stream a little bit later tonight. Now, by the time you guys see this is a long way in the future. However, if you do check the links down below, you can always switch my notifications on to see if I am streaming. And if I do complete Glory Hunter, I will then be looking to probably do a bit of a stream save to end off this cycle as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Cole Palmer, Pessina, finds his way into Hidara, and his boy out to the Blasi. The Blasi now goes on a run, does well. Hidara, Isaac crunches, Sergio beats, finds Tisney, great ball to Victor Osimhen, and here goes Victor. Ball out to Brown. Great ball back towards Osimhen, just didn't put it into the space. Unfortunately for us, still new here. We've been the better side. Atlanta have been knocking the ball around in the 4-3-3. Historically, Italian teams are hard to beat. I'm going to just fresh my answer to the far to get better. I will say if we draw to Atlanta and we draw to Rennes and then we win the rest, we're going to finish inside the 8. So that's okay as well. I would rather just win this one, let's be honest. Time is ticking away and, well, 60 minutes played and the boys haven't found a chance. And here comes Atlanta with a set piece. Mugala wins. Brown heads away. Only as far as Lingale. No, Osimhen got there and flicked it to no one in particular. And De Blasi now will come forward. And it is De Blasi. Still De Blasi. Should be Sergio's ball. Is Tisney doesn't win that, not his area. Falls to Pessina. Well, we're 1-0 down. Don't worry about winning this game. We're the team that's in trouble now, 61 minutes in. And there you go. Move us into the 4-3-3. Don't think we really need to change too much here. Bruno Guimaraes will probably come into here. And I think Smith Rowe on for Isaac's probably a go as well. maybe get Brown as an inside forward on the other side here. Yeah, as much as we've had more of the play and had the game to probably have scored today, we haven't. And one moment where the ball falls to them, they've scored. Osimhen now needs some help. Brown gets on that one. No, he doesn't, so they're cooked. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Their first shot on target, and they've had 0.39 XG total, and, well, here we are. In 72 minutes played, it's a throw-in. Need this ball to go in the back of the net. Tisney thumps one. Osimhen to bring people into it. Can't win the header, apparently. Then he goes flying in there, and he's going to get sent off. Right. Well, that's game. That's all she wrote. Bellingham's going to come off here, and it's only because Jude that I need a strike. I could move Tisney up front, to be fair. Could move Bellingham in the hole, actually, and get Tisney off. Bellingham's pretty dead, though, so... Galbert is going to come in, so you guys are going to get to see him, which is great. And we're also going to get Frimpong for Salmakers because we can't afford another red card. But this is not going to plan. This is not going to plan at all. We're not playing out in defence. We're going to go way more direct, and in transition we're going to counter press and distribute over the top. We need to find a goal now. Now we need to find one with 10, which is a bit of a different prospect. Something tells me we won't end up finding one with 10 here. But if we could, it would be huge. Tisney whips one. Smith Rowe backstick. Ain't going to win that. Sergio the Brazilian. Well, this is against the run of play. Against the script. Bruno wins. Tisney picks it up. Ball over the top. Brown volleys. Scores. Is he onside? Have we found a winner? An equaliser in the 86th minute. Feels like a winner with 10 men. We have. Wow, there we go. 2 of our world-class players combined. Bruno wins. Tisney one touch, no look half volley pass, and Brown with his right foot cross keeper 1-1. There you go. Highlight straight away as well in the 86th minute. They thump one long, but only as far as Frimpong. Can we score 2 with 10? Kakur just thumps one. Brown's okay in the air, but that might fall to his foot, and it does. Brown now's not much help. Needs some people in and around him in the box. Cuts it back to Frimpong. Bruno Guimaraes, what a weak effort. Had all the time in the world to take a moment and compose himself and finish. And he does that. Now, long delay, Pasalic. My issue is that we're down to 10, but if I make a change, we could be dead. We should have scored there to win it. Now they've got the 3 against 2 here. Because we're so attacking. Well done, Sergio. Gets that one away. Is that the highlight? It is. I'm going to make a change here to go to balanced. I'm going to wing back on defend with a wing back on defend. I'm actually going to get Tisney to drop into here with Bruno. And just be a deep line playmaker on support. And do that. Don't get caught too far forward, but still look to hit on the break if we could. Yeah, there you go. A little bit lucky to pitch a draw as we scored late with 10 men. We were struggling for the ball there too, but a walk away from Italy with a point, massive, because it means now if we win the rest of our games here, we can put ourselves in a commanding position, and, hopefully we don't lose the Renners in the next episode, which makes that one interesting as well. I am going to fresh minds and tell them all that I expect to see him play better later on. Osimhen suspended for the next one. So the whole reason we've kept him around is for the Europa League, or else I would have been actively trying to sell him before staying here long term. But that is a bad point. That leaves us here. That's the Cabaret Cup. That leaves us in the Europa League here at 18th on a point. There's a few teams that have won there though as well, including AAB, who we're probably going to slap up at some stage when we play them. But look, from here it's just a matter of win every game, and then the Renners game, and we're going to be in and around that top 8. And to be fair, as long as we finish inside the 23, we're going to beat whoever we get in that first round. But finishing that top 8 is going to guarantee you a second leg at home in the second knockout round, and that's quite important. With that being said, though, until next time, that is us done. That is a bit of a disappointing way to start the Europa League campaign. However, it wasn't a loss, and good sides when playing bad football still find a way. And, well, between Lewis Brown and Robin Tisney, who's our best player, and, it doesn't matter how you look at him, he's our best player, and Brown, who is also our best player, who is developing quite literally into one of the best English players that they're going to have in their squad. We are very happy with how that went. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.